All right, what is up, AEW Daily, Dynamite Daily fans? Welcome to another episode of AEW Dynamite Daily. Tonight we're going to be talking about the first show, the Fallout show after Revolution. We're going to go ahead and get into our first match. As you can see down below here, there's a few on here right now. I haven't made another one yet, but we had Rey Fenix taking on one half of the AEW World Tag Champions, the Young Bucks of Matt Jackson. I thought this was a really good match to start off the whole night. The parts that I love about the match was just Matt Jackson giving super kicks to Rey Fenix, and he just taking it, doing flips and stuff like that. I just love that. That was a good part of the match. I thought it was a great back and forth between Rey Fenix and Matt Jackson. But your winner of that match, they trade offense and counters until both were knocked to the mat. They started dishing out chops, forearms, and then kicks to one another. Rey Fenix planted Matt Jackson with a pile driver and pinned him 1, 2, 3. Winner of that match was Rey Fenix. Congratulations to Rey Fenix. What a great match that was. What a prelude to the AEW World Championship match between the Young Bucks and Pac and Rey Fenix of Death Triangle. I cannot wait to see that coming up very, very soon in AEW. Then we go into an Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley promo. Kingston said he had a flashback to jail and he blacked out covering up Jon Moxley after Moxley's match at Revolution. Then Jon Moxley says, Eddie, I think Impact paid for that bomb. Yeah, that was a stupid ending to AEW Revolution. Says, Kenny, when it came to the mail, did it come with the big bold letters that said acne? That was funny as hell. I didn't win my belt back at Revolution. All I got was this t-shirt. But I did get my drinking buddy back too. Kenny, the Good Brothers, if you're going to flash a weapon, you better use it, said Jon Moxley. And that was just a good promo with that. We get into the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes with Arn Anderson versus Seth Gargis. Cody's left shoulder was taped up after the brutal ladder match last Sunday night on Revolution. Cody lifted Garris and planted him with a running power slam. Cody applied the figure four and forced Gargis to tap. So winner of that match was the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, with that. Then we had, after the match, we had Tony Schiavone entering the ring to interview Cody. Arn Anderson was clearly pleased with Cody's quick and an effective performance tonight, pointing at his wristwatch and smiled. Says, Cody, let's talk about the shoulder and how you're feeling right now. Before he couldn't even say anything, Penta El Zero Meadow interrupted him from the Spanish announce team and using Alex Abrahadas as a translator. Penta El Zero Mero said if Cody is the prince of pro wrestling, the Pentagon El Zero Mero is the lord of lucha libre. At Revolution, you lost, and had just been you and me in that ring, you would have lost more than the match. You know why? Penta, oh my God, I thought this was just wow. Penta El Zero Mero said he would have hurt Cody's injured arm so much that he wouldn't be able to pick up his newborn baby. And oh my God, that was just not so good to see that. So they got into hurt enough that he sprung out. They brawled out to it and it was separated. Then we go to another. Can I help you?
Yeah, you're going to have to subscribe for the ants again.
I will after I'm done.
Because I just killed like 5 of them.
All right, then we get a promo from Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy. We're at Arcade. Chuck Taylor says, "Please, Mero, give us one more match, and if we lose, I'll be your butler forever." Which, yikes. But my buddy Orange had a really good idea. How about we put all these arcade games at ringside, and we put you through them, and then after that, then Orange Cassidy said, and then we break you at Orange Cassidy. I'll be back real quick. I had to check on my little guy. He had front paw surgery, so I had to check on him real quick. After his successful return in his first match since 2015, Sting appeared live for another interview. Let me go ahead and get rid of this ticking thing, this banner, because I didn't make another one, so I decided to now make another one. After that, Tony. Then he asked him a question, and Sting says, "Tony, let me tell you something about Darby. He is a dangerous, dangerous man, and he takes risk with his own body. And you combine that with the Stinger, and you combine that with the menacing environment of the streets, and you get a win. Darby gets a win, and Sting gets a win." They just love that part. Then we had the Murder Hawk Monster, Lance Archer, and Jake Snake Roberts interrupt Sting. He said, "If you won't give us time, we'll take time." And then he looks at Sting. And then we get, "Well, this is Sting's time here right now," said Tony Schiavone. And then said, "We'll see you around," which I thought that was pretty disrespectful to see that. Let's see what's. Then we get All Ego, Ethan Page versus Lee Johnson. But wait, we pretty much got NBA. I couldn't even hear a damn thing with this match. All we got was NBA music background playing. We're hearing fans and music going off. I couldn't even hear the whole match at all. So I just pretty much fast forward through it. Are you okay, Simi? Okay. All right, sorry about that. Johnson attempted a leapfrog and landed wrong on his knee. Ethan Page didn't wait as the ref was checking on Lee Johnson, rocking Lee with a pump kick. Ethan Page hurling Lee Johnson halfway across the ring with the Ego's edge and pin Lee Johnson. After that, Ethan Page continued to attack Lee Johnson after the match until Dustin Rhodes ran down to chase Ethan Page away. QT Marshall never intervened and then simply walked off. I don't know what's going on within the Nightmare family. I'm starting to think that QT Marshall's turning heel. With this whole thing, I'm starting to think he's going to leave the Nightmare family and go on his own. Then we get Alex Marvez was backstage to interview Hangman and Page. He told Marvez how he spent Matt Hardy's money after winning the big money match at Revolution. He said he bought the entire Dwight Holcomb catalog on vinyl. He purchased some whiskey, donated most of it, and he bought himself a new riding lawnmower. Then he invited the Dark Order to jump on, and they drove off to get ice cream together, except for, I think it was number 10 or number 5. I can't remember who that was that they didn't take with. Tony Schiavone was supposed to interview Christian Cage to see what he can say about him signing here to AEW. Then Tony Schiavone was interrupted when the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega came out instead. He was joined by Impact's Don Callis and the Good Brothers. Tony Schiavone left to go back to the broadcast booth. Don Callis said he was sorry that the audience wouldn't get to hear from the brand new AEW signing of Christian Cage right now because we call the shots around here, and I'm standing next to the king of the death match, which you're not no king of the death match, Kenny Omega, because still the king of the death match will and always be Matt Tremont, Matt the Bulldozer Tremont. He was always will be the number one man as the king of the death matches. On Sunday at Revolution, it all went according to plan. Then maybe not everything, replied Omega. Then Don Callis says, "Oh, you mean the explosion not heard around the world? We're getting a lot of heat. I'm not going to confirm or deny that we had anything to do with that. What I will confirm is how happy it made us to take away what the fans wanted, taking away Tony Khan's chance to create big moments. We took away Eddie Kingston's star making heroic moment. If the ring somehow didn't blow up, we looked even better because we still walked out with the championship, and Moxley and Kingston looked like a pair of idiots," said Don Callis. Omega said, "It's sweet that I beat you and I embarrassed you, leaving you and Kingston looking like losers in the ring while four sparklers short from the corner post," which I thought it was just disrespectful right there. Eddie and Kingston walked down to the ring. Don Callis says, "I know this guy. I had you working for me in Impact Wrestling because I saw the toughness and you had it all. But I had to fight you, Eddie." You take like a little bath or something? Sorry about that. My little cat had his foot declawed. Careful up there. Careful. Okay. It says, because you did the same thing in Impact Wrestling working for me that you did your whole life. When you're close to grabbing the brass ring, you find a way to screw it up. Just like you did at Revolution, that was your moment, and we took it away, and we laughed at you. And you're a little outgunned here tonight, and because I like you, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to get out of here before these guys kick your ass. Then it's just... I thought it was good to see that part. The countdown clock began to play on the big screen. Kenny and Don mocked Kingston, with Kenny pretending to be frightened, asking Don to cover him up to 69, which was funny as hell, and protect him. Omega, what do you hope to accomplish, Eddie? Standing in here with a bunch of guys that can kick your ass. Take your best shot. First one's free, but you don't have the balls. Kingston shrugged and smacked Omega. The Good Brothers began to stomp on Eddie Kingston until Jon Moxley sprinted out to help him. Christian Cage's music begins to play, and he walked out and down to the ring. Christian Cage slowly approached the world champion Kenny Omega, and then he got in Omega's face, which I hope to see that very, very soon. That would be a good dream match to see on AEW Dynamite between Christian Cage and Kenny Omega. But this one, I'm going to go past this stupid trios match. Hikaru Shida, Ryo Mizunami, and Thunder Rosa versus the Native Beast, Nyla Rose with Vicky Guerrero. Maki Ito, it's just so stupid. Seeing her sing, yada yada, don't care about that match. Winner of the match was okay, who won this? Shida connected with a running knee to Britt Baker for a near fall. Ito ran in and hammered Shida with her hard headbutt. Thunder Rosa clobbered Baker with back arms and forearms. Thunder Rosa climbed to the top rope and launched herself, taking down everyone with the Cancun tornado. Ito spiked Thunder Rosa with a swinging DDT. Rebel tried to get involved and interfered while the ref was distracted. Instead, Thunder Rosa spiked Ito and pinned her. Blah, blah, blah. Don't care. After the match, Vicky, neither Rose and Rebel interfered, allowing Britt Baker to apply the lockjaw on Thunder Rosa. Just thought that was a stupid match. Private Party and Matt Hardy were backstage. Hardy said he signed some new additions to the Hardy Empire, the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny. He said they were going to destroy the Dark Order for what they did to him. Then we had the TNT championship match, Darby Allin versus the face of the Revolution, Scorpio Sky. I thought it was a good TNT championship match, but the winner of that match was Darby Allin. Sky lifted Darby for the TKO, but Darby cradled him and retained the championship. After the match, Scorpio Sky locked on a heel hook on Darby until the refs ran down to pull him off the champ. Scorpio Sky looked down at his hands and then smiled. I really think Scorpio Sky is going to turn heel. Now, for the end of this part, we have this Inner Circle War console. Jericho went on to say, when any great army needs to change their course in the middle of battle, they hold a war council. The decline we've had in the past few weeks is easily remedied. It's time for a new outlook. Maybe it's time to introduce a new member to the Inner Circle, said Jericho. And then MJF says, whoa, I don't think we need to add a new member. Maybe it's time we let someone go, said MJF. Then Sammy Guevara's music hits, which I thought it was good to see Sammy Guevara there. Jericho said, Jericho said, what? Wow, look who's here. What are you doing? Then Sammy said, I need you to see something. I need to show you something. He said, you're dead to us. And it says, Chris, after everything we've been through, I need you to look at something. Sammy played a video on the big screen and showed footage from earlier in the day when Sammy had planted a hidden camera in the dressing room. It showed a recording MJF telling Jake Hager, Santana, and Ortiz that it was time to get rid of, to rid the Inner Circle of Jericho. Back in the ring, MJF said to Jericho, I didn't want you to find out like this. Hager, Santana were about to assault Jericho, but then they turned around and stood next to Jericho. Jericho said, shut up, you stupid idiot. On the behalf of the Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle, your ass is fired, said Jericho as he shoved MJF to the mat. MJF said, hear me out, Chris. I swear I didn't want to take over your group because I was too busy building my own. Then the arena lights went out. In the ring was FTR, Tully Blanchard, Wardlow, and Sean Spears, and they just beat the living crap out of the Inner Circle. And then to end the night, Wardlow grabs Jericho and powerbombed him off the stage as him crashing through the ring below, which I'm starting to think that this should be the next. Now, I know a lot of people are saying that they shouldn't. I've started to think this should be the next Four Horsemen. I seriously think that should be the next Four Horsemen of AEW. I think it's about time we get a new heel team, heel faction, because I think I'm starting to think Jericho and them are just being a face group. But with these guys, with Tully Blanchard, I'm starting to think, and have JJ Dillon involved, I'm starting to think we might have the next Four Horsemen. But I know they won't be called the Four Horsemen. They might come up with a different name. This might be their sign. Tully Blanchard does this, so the FTR, maybe this could be their new sign. We could see a newer group. I wish this is a good thing that MJF did that, because I knew something was going to happen between the Inner Circle and with MJF. So, but that is about it for AEW Dynamite. Can't wait for next week's episode. It's a good episode, a good week for next week. We've got the St. Patrick's Slam coming up because we're getting close to St. Patrick's Day. So I cannot wait to see that happen in AEW. A lot of good matches of an 8-man tag. We have Jurassic Express and some other team versus the Matt Hardy brand of the Butcher and Blade and Party. We're going to get Cody Rhodes versus Penta El Zero Mero. Can't wait to see that very soon in AEW Dynamite. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, my final thoughts on AEW Dynamite. I'm going to give it a 8.5 out of 10. Now, I know I should be getting it more higher, but the only thing I didn't like was that fucking trios match. It was just ridiculous and stupid. Why come up with a pathetic match like that? Like, seriously, why come up with a stupid match like that? But anyways, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, AEW Dynamite Daily is now in its new home. We will now be on youtube.com/AEW Slam Zone 32, as you can see it going by. You also can follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/AEW Slam Zone 32. You can follow me on Instagram, instagram.com/MichaelChamp26 for everything else. We are going to make a new home for TCW Monday Night Chaos. Will be now called TCW Network. It's going to be coming out pretty soon. I'm trying to get it all put together. So I can't wait to show you guys the new logo and everything. So get ready for that, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Michael Miner. We'll see you guys next week for another episode of AEW Dynamite Daily. I'm Michael Miner. I'm your host, and we'll see you next time.